first of all, I want to say congratulations on your short film.
Thank
Uh,
you.
it must be such an incredible achievement. And of course, I wanted to start by asking you what inspired you in the first place to make this film.
Yeah, it's very loosely based on something that happened in my family that really shocked me and saddened me. And I think I was looking at other friends and family and their families and the things that they were going through, and it was a real sort of learning phase to realize that your family isn't always the family that you think you have. And I really wanted to explore that, but I also wanted to change the narrative of how we view victims and events. And a lot of the time, when something terrible has happened to someone, the narrative is on the perpetrator and on their personality, on what they did, rather than actually looking at the victim. And that's something that you see in culture very widely in many, many cases. And I just wanted to bring the story back to, in this case, Lenny, who actually we kind of forget the aftermath and how someone can really go through moving forward a traumatic event. So I wanted to encompass all of that into 14 minutes.
That must have been really hard. It's a lot to talk about in such a short
Yeah.
time. And I also wanted to ask about this. I've heard that writing short films is harder than writing anything else. How did you approach the writing specifically?
I thought I would love the writing, to be completely honest. I thought I'm an actor, I'm gonna love dialogue, I'm gonna love the characters. And it was really, really hard.
Hmm.
I've had this idea in my mind for a really long time. So there were things in my mind that I knew were gonna go in. I just didn't quite know the order. I didn't quite know how to all make it come together. But it was hard because as soon as you put pen to paper, it becomes a real tangible object. And it's a lot harder. I'm very good at daydreaming, but if I have to put something down, then I have to make it. I knew that as soon as I write it, it means that I have to make it. And so
Hmm.
that's also, it was such a big step. But I realized as well, I write very much quite visually. So I had a lot of the shots in my mind, which was quite helpful because then I could just describe those. But the dialogue was hard.
Hmm. Yeah, I bet it must have been. And you're obviously an actor. Do you think your experience as an actor influences the way you direct, the way you write?
Um, Maybe really not the way that I wrote this. But I think the way that I was on set, definitely, I was very the great acting is maybe the best job on set because you get to do this incredible work. But when you're not doing the work and you're in between takes, you get to observe. And we
Hmm.
get to observe and we get to be on different sets. So I've had the chance to observe so many incredible directors. And so when I was on my set, what was so great is that it was a very familiar setting. And I really knew what were the things as an actor that made me feel good and made me feel safe. And I wanted to apply that not just for the actors, but also for the crew and anyone making the film with me.
Hmm. I really like that. I wanted to ask you about some of your acting experiences because I know you work with Brady Colbert and Mona Fastwell multiple times.
Mm.
Can you talk a little bit about your experience working on these films, especially like The Brutalist or The Testament of Enlil? I really love both as well. So I'd be
Thank you.
curious to hear about that.
Yeah, they are incredible filmmakers. They really are such strong um, defenders of filmmaking and independent filmmaking. I think it's such a hard world to make films these
Hmm.
days, and there's a very easy way of um, cutting corners. But what I love about Brady and Mono is they write together and they write incredible, very detailed, very precise scripts. So even just as a piece of writing, they hold up. And then you can see the film just by reading it, which is really exciting. A lot of people say, "Oh, a script is, a specific blueprint," but it's a real piece of writing when they do
Mhm.
something. And they're just really incredible, very loyal creators.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. I also know that one of your upcoming credits is Sense and Sensibility, which I'm
Mm.
really excited to watch once it comes
Mm.
out in UK cinemas. Can you share a little bit about that production experience as well?
Yeah, it's the first production that I've been on where there has been it's a film where it has a following already because Sense and
Yeah.
Sensibility, there are so many people who love the book, who are fervent admirers of the book, and then there's also people who are huge fans of the film with Emma Thompson and Kate Winslet by Ang Lee. And so it's the first time that I'm entering a production with sort of a big, big following already. And I really loved doing period. There's something really beautiful about doing period, I think, and not wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Um, and Georgia was such a perfect director for this. I think she really captured the book in a way that is very true to the book, which I think is great and really necessary, but also making it very, very modern, but also, yeah, and very new for people who might not have watched Ang Lee's film or for the younger generations. And so
Mm.
I'm quite curious to see how people will watch it and their relationship to it because it has so many different characters and it's so dense in life that there's something in it for everybody.
I'm even more excited to see it now.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll make this my last question because I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I
Don't
wanted
worry.
to ask if you have any other projects coming out that you can talk a little bit about, and especially if you want to keep directing as well after this.
Yeah, I would love to direct more. I think realistically, a feature will probably be in a few years by the time I write it, since I love writing so much. Um, and then I did a film called 11 Missing Days that is directed by Bertie Elwood with Vincent Cassel and Felicity Jones about Agatha Christie, who went missing, real life, who went missing for 11 days. And so the film is beautiful, but it's also quite film noir-esque in a real Agatha Christie way. And it's a story that not a lot of people know about her. So I'm quite looking forward to well, I haven't seen it, so I want to see it, but I'm quite excited for it to come out as well.
Yeah, I heard about the story and I'm really excited to see that they're to hear that they're making a movie about it. But
Yeah,
thank you so much for your time and congratulations again on the short
thank
film.
you. Thank you so much.